Welcome to part 2 of our video series on how to convert to a marine composting head for your boat. In this episode, Michael and Esther, founders of Wayfinders Now, talk about the effort and cost to install an airhead composting toilet in their 35-foot sailboat. Hey, thank you, Michael and Esther, for joining us again today as you share your experience of installing a composting marine toilet. You did the install yourself, Michael. Mm-hmm. How difficult was that? Was that something that was fairly easy? I mean, you're a fairly handy person, but what challenges did you face? How difficult was it to install?
As far as boat projects are concerned, it was incredibly easy. Probably the least painful project we had on the installation end. And I think that's very important to clarify because the removal of the old septic system of the marine head, all of those hoses, and they're the thick gauge rubber hoses that still obviously have nasty things in them, and our head had the holding tank itself had cracked and leaked into our settee, and so there was leftovers that we had to deep clean out of our bilges and our settee. So that none of that was simple, and I would never ever say that side of it was not painful and difficult and gross. And we both worked our butts off to make that as pleasant as possible. But as far as the installation itself, really, the way our boat is set up, we chose to add an additional 10 feet of hose so that we could run our vent out of where our old deck fill was. In doing so, though, we had to add a second fan housing in the run because you're really not supposed to have too long of a run. 15 feet was far too long for our needs, or for really the needs of keeping the toilet happy. So yeah, we ended up adding a second housing, and then it was really just a matter of running hose to the deck, building a small platform for the unit to sit on, and screwing it into place. And I mean, super easy on that side of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the components themselves are pretty much ready to go. It's just some mounting brackets, running hose. Wiring two 12-volt positive and negative wires to run the fan. You know, it's super simple. Super simple.
So back to the fan. So you're drawing air from inside the cabin through the chambers and then venting it outside.
Yep.
So, okay. Yep. Cost. It's always a showstopper. Always. There's nothing cheap on a boat. So can you talk a little bit to the cost of the project, purchase of the unit itself, and then the other pieces?
Right now, a new airhead composting toilet costs roughly around $1,000, right?
$1,059 plus probably shipping.
And then for us, I think our total project cost was just a couple $100 on top of that, so roughly $1,250 to $1,300, and that includes extra hoses, 6 months worth of cocoa core material, which we'll talk about, like different material that you need, the wood base that we talked about, and in the case of our boat, we just needed a little bit deeper platform, so Michael just built a nice wood base, the mushroom vent that he talked about on the deck, and so yeah, $1,200 to $1,300.
That and the additional fan housing that I mentioned. We found this really great seller on Etsy who does 3D printing?
Okay.
Of different parts, and actually he has a composting head company. He's called Johnny Compost or Johnny Compost Toilet. We'll send you the link, and you should maybe link it in this video.
Yeah, he's great. Super fast, really responsive.
I found him on Etsy. We talked. I sent him the dimension of the hose and the type of hose we're looking to use. 3 days later, showed up in the mail from Arizona and had the fan ready to pop into place, and had to wire it up, and it was fantastic. He was really responsive and really cool.
Thank you for watching this series on converting to a composting marine head. Remember to hit that subscribe button so that you will be notified when the next episode is published. Get your free copy of the Practical Guide to Green Boating. A download link is in the description below. This is the Green Boater, helping you create the ocean you love.